For any parents out there, what are your rules around your kids and iPad or tablet usage? And I guess at some point, smartphones, although honestly, my kids aren't getting smartphones for a very long time. But a couple videos back when I was talking about parenting, I was saying how when it comes to video games compared to a lot of my personal friends, I let my kids play a lot more video games than the vast majority of them. However, when it comes to iPad usage, I am typically one of the more stricter ones on it. And I've actually loosened up over the years. Like, we were definitely stricter with our older son than we were with our younger son with how much iPad time and stuff we got. But nonetheless, they do each have their own iPads over here, but they really never leave the house. I mean, they're definitely not data enabled, you know, they're only like Wi-Fi enabled. So you can really only use them at home. But, you know, so we'll let them watch it at home. If it had, like, kind of like the video game thing, if they're watching it for more than like an hour straight, approaching the hour half mark, I tend to slide up in there and cut it off. Like, I used to not even let them like use it during dinner time or when we were eating, but when we eat, most of the time we're watching like the evening local news here. So at that point, I kind of gotten lax on that, let them watch their iPads while me and mama are watching their news. But they definitely don't leave the house. Like, I don't let them bring it in the car and watch that shit while we're driving around, at least locally. Now, if we go on trips and stuff like that, by all means, that iPad is there. It's loaded up with a bunch of stuff downloaded for them to watch. So what we're doing, you know, any of these like 1, 2, 3 hour drives, sometimes multiple of those a day, driving around California or wherever we're at. Yeah, so for those, we definitely have the iPads and stuff loaded up and ready to go. But aside from that, when we're home, those things basically never leave the house. Definitely never let them bring them to dinner when we're eating out. It always just kind of trip me out when, like, we'll see, you know, families out at dinner and then their kids are there with their own phone or iPad just plopped on the table staring at the thing while, you know, the family's trying to eat. So never been too cool with that. So, you know, we put a stop to that even really early on when, you know, when they were really young, and having a phone or something there for them to watch would have really been helpful because, you know, keep them distracted while we're trying to have adult conversations with whoever else is there. Even then, super strict on it. We just had to deal with, you know, a needy kid when those times arose. I mean, I guess when it comes to smartphones, you know, so our older son is 9, he's turning 10. And I think it might have been kindergarten, but by like first grade and on, some kids in his class were already having their own personal phones, and they got, like, you know, the internet on there, and they're watching YouTube videos. These kids got their own TikTok pages and stuff like that. So by all means, man, my kids ain't getting that shit for a long time. Like, I'm thinking, man, no smartphone to maybe like high school or something. Maybe later than that, if I could possibly push it out further than that. Although it is definitely getting to the point to where our older one could use a phone. You know, there's times where he's out where it really would be nice to have him have a phone so we can get in touch with him if we need to. But even then, when we do get him one, it will definitely be like a flip phone and not a smartphone. Anyway, yeah, so any parents out there, what are your guys' kind of rules around that? When did you get them their own personal smartphone, and did you have to try and figure out how to go on there and like shut off all the internet and do things like that? Like, even for my kids now on their personal iPads we have here, I still like locked off Safari, you know, and tried to parent control the shit out of that thing just to make sure, you know, they don't start falling down some rabbit holes they really aren't ready for. So anyway, that's that. Until the next video, keep parenting legit.